Time to put you on and see what you sound like. You sure are shiny, that's for sure. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. You can see right here, this is a box set that Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab released in 1983, and it is a box set that is Frank Sinatra's Capitol recordings. So there are 16 albums in here, plus they put a geo disc for cartridge alignment, which is a pretty nice touch. And I've been wanting to get these on an ultrasonic record cleaning machine. I have this VPI 16.5. It's a manual vacuum, type system, and it does a credible job. But it's really a pain to sit there and have to sort of hands-on every step. And doing 16 albums is just no fun. So I did get an ultrasonic record cleaner, and I'm going to get into all of that in a minute. But the interesting thing about this box set, my dad was a big Frank Sinatra fan, and he's passed away many years ago. But over the years, I have participated in a number of audio-related forums, that are on the internet, and you kind of meet people, kind of cyber friends type of thing. And one day I was on there on a particular place, chatting with some people about Frank Sinatra and how much I liked him. And later that afternoon or the next day, I got a private message from another one of the members who said, "Hey, I read your post about Frank Sinatra," and he said, "I have this box set right here." And he said what he told me was that he had purchased this for his father's birthday in 1983 when it was first released. His dad took it, and his dad and a friend of his dad sat and recorded all of it to tape. And then, basically what he told me was his dad just put the box set aside, and that was pretty much it for the vinyl records. And subsequently, this gentleman's father passed away also, and he got the box set back, I guess by kind of way of inheritance. But he said, "Look, I'm out of the vinyl business completely. I've sold all my vinyl kit. I'm totally digital. I have no use for this set whatsoever." And basically, he wanted me to have them. So to make a long story short, he sent these down to me, a super generous person, and I have just treasured these records ever since I got them. So much so, I like Frank Sinatra so much, I even went and found this Life hardbound book, Sinatra's Life in Pictures. It's prefaced by Tony Bennett, interestingly, and it's just a lot of stuff about him, things that you wouldn't normally know is just in here, and it's just really a cool book. So if you like Frank Sinatra, you might still be able to find this perhaps on Amazon or eBay. This one is just in superb condition, and every once in a while I'll just kind of thumb through it. But at any rate, so being new to the ultrasonic record cleaning business and not spending $3,200 or $4,000 or more on one of these, commercial type record cleaners, ultrasonic record cleaners that you see for sale, I went for something considerably less expensive, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But first, in order to check, to try it out and check it, I took some old records. These are records like that I bought at various vinyl fairs and types of things. So Cat Stevens' Tea for the Tillerman had never been cleaned. God knows where it came from. And as it turns out, after I've put it through, there's damage on this record, so it's basically worthless. This actually, though, is Neil Young's Harvest. Now, I bought this record in 1975 in Cambridge in the UK. I was an exchange student back in those days, and the host took a bunch of us to Cambridge, the university, to go see the university and attend some of the classes that they were doing, and then also punting on the river. It's kind of like a Venice type of a poling type of thing, except a little bit different, a boat. And I was in town and went into a record store, and this, Harvest was released, I think, in 1972. I bought this in 1975, and it had never been cleaned. It was in pretty wretched condition as far as dirty is concerned, and the amount of dirt that came off of this record in the bottom of that record cleaning machine is astounding. I did play this one too, and I thought it sounded kind of dark, a little bit on the, it just didn't have any real presence of trouble to it. So I don't know if that's part and parcel of the original. Maybe, you know, back in those days they probably were pressing thousands of these. I do own this and a remastered version that I picked up several years ago when it first came out, and that remaster is absolutely superb. This one is not so great, but you know, it's part of history, part of my life. I bought this when I was 17, maybe 16, 17 years old, 17 I think. All right, so then the other ones that I have were also bought at various record fairs, and they are the Dave Brubeck Quartet Time Out. That is a very famous album. I also have the remastered version of this, and it is really spectacular in the way that it sounds. So we're going to put this one on there first. Another Dave Brubeck Quartet, Angel Eyes. No idea really as to how that's going to work. I don't remember this record very much at all. I think I did listen to it, but I just don't remember it. So then also Dave Brubeck Quartet. We're doing the Dave Brubeck Quartet. Anything Goes. Same thing with that. And then Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. This one was pressed in 1977, I think. So you know, it's way down the list on pressings as far as that's concerned. I have 2 or 3 remasters of this one. The one that Mobile Fidelity did, I've listened to a lot, and it's really, really good, despite that there's apparently a digital step in how they did this. But I also have the Analog Productions remaster that they did, that expensive one that I never even opened. We'll get to that sometime in the future. So let's get these things on the record cleaner, and then we'll see exactly how it all comes out, and I'll tell you some further details about some of the things and some of the issues and problems that I've run into, you know, as I try to work my way through how to best handle a machine that I'm just really unfamiliar with, and using a technology that I've never used before. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm on a selfie stick right now. You're going to have to bear with me. But this is the Vevor digital ultrasonic record cleaner. This one came from Amazon. I actually did buy this exact model from AliExpress for less money, 143 something, but when it got here and arrived, it had dents all over this front panel. It was terrible, so I had to go back, and it took a while, but they finally did refund my money. So this one came from Amazon. I think it was like $179, and it has all of this extra pieces that they put in here to turn this into something that you clean records with. But the truth is this is just basically a tub ultrasonic cleaner, so you can clean jewelry in here. I know clock repair people put clock mechanisms in there to get the gunk out of them. It works very well. My wife cleaned some jewelry of her diamonds and stuff in here, and it came out sparkling nice. So and I have cleaned a few records with it, so it does work. So let's turn it on from back here. Hit the little button, and I set this for 28 degrees to heat the water. Right now it's telling me the water is 21 degrees Celsius. I have it set for 28. There's no Fahrenheit setting on it, so you have to convert your Celsius to Fahrenheit, and 28 degrees is about 86, I think, 0.4 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about as warm as I want the water to get. Vinyl is very delicate and is subject to warpage if things get too hot, and so that's, for me, that's the right temperature. And then this is the time, 25 minutes. Now you might think that that's quite a lot of time for it to sit in the ultrasonic bath, but the other part of this is that you'll notice when the records start to spin, they're spinning much more quickly than something like a degritter or an audio desk system record cleaner would go. Those machines spin the record through the ultrasonic bath much slower than this one does. So from a time standpoint of how much time this half from this part of the dead wax down spends in the ultrasonic bath, you know, when you equalize it out, I guess from 8 minutes or something to 10 minutes to 25 minutes, it sort of equalizes about how much actual time those vinyl grooves are actually being ultrasonically cleaned. Okay, so while we press the button here to start the heating, and you see the light came on. And while that heating process is going on, what I've been doing, and I got this actually off of the degritter manual, is to lower the records in and then just start kind of like a pre-soak. And that's basically what it's sort of doing. It's sort of pre-soaking, and you can kind of see how the water is sticking to the vinyl. Now the reason it's doing that is because I have added to it one scant capful of Kodak PhotoFlow 200, okay? And I'll tell you how I came to getting to this. And then also 2 milliliters measured out in this little device that's like way down here. 2 milliliters is like right where my thumb is, very small amount of this stuff, which is a disinfectant, viricide, fungicide, and mildew stat. It's a cleaner. 2 milliliters of that. I got this from Vinyl Engine from some people who have used a photo wetting agent. This is a wetting agent, all right? And I actually ordered something called Ilfitol, and what they sent me instead was Ilfisol. So they didn't send the wetting agent, they sent the film developer. And I had to send that back, and then ultimately finding this Kodak PhotoFlow wasn't so easy on Amazon, but they had it at B&H Photo for a fairly reasonable price, and they shipped it down. One scant capful, and this is just over a gallon of water in here, and then 2 milliliters of the benzorid, and there it goes. So what's going to happen is after the temperature gets up to 28, I will turn on the ultrasonic portion of this and just sit back and wait. The nice thing about it is you can clean, well, I have 4 records in here. You can put more than that. These acrylic discs cover the label, and as you can kind of see, and maybe you can tell in here, the water level is right up to where the dead wax is. And so, you know, it's not overfilled by any stretch of the imagination. Now, when you're cleaning dirty records and the dirt comes off of it and the grime, it sort of tends to settle in the very bottom of the tank. And so in order to be able to clean it and keep the, you know, from having to continue to do more and more distilled water, which is what's in there, this is an iSonic 1 micron filter. It just fits right on here when the records are out, and it just filters water. So after I've done some of these records, I put this in there and then let it run for about an hour or so, 45 minutes, to filter the water and get it back clean again. So that company also makes this product. It's like, they call it an ultrasonic vinyl cleaning solution, okay? It's really kind of a detergent, because when you add 1 capful, like they say is the amount, you can see the water begins to foam. And so I cleaned, I think, a grand total of 7 records with that solution in here. And after the last group, when I pulled the records out, I noticed you could see in the water with these very, very thin little ribbons of white, some kind of a whiteness just sort of floating in there. So I said, oh, well, maybe it's just that the dirt that came off of the record. So when I put the 1 micron filtering system in and turned it on, it actually made it worse. It just started getting more and more white until finally, after a while, the water just turned completely milky. And, you know, I wound up having to take that, you know, get rid of the water, start all over. And so I am not convinced that that solution is what I'll be using. Maybe my wife can use it for jewelry cleaning or other types of purposes, but I'm certainly not putting my vinyl records in there. So for the time being, it's the Kodak PhotoFlow, the benzorid, and about 25 minutes once the temperature gets up and I turn the ultrasonic system on. And so we'll go from there, and we'll see exactly what these things look like after they come out and get set up in this rack system for drying. And we'll go from there. Now, I just wanted to do all of this with some, I'm not going to call this throwaway vinyl. By no means, that is not what it is, but it, from a scale of importance, it's a little bit less since I own most of these in remastered versions anyway. But I did the Neil Young Harvest album and the Tea for the Tillerman, but I also cleaned 4 of my Supertramp albums that I bought back in 1977 when Breakfast of America came out in 78, I think. You know, I bought that one new. And they've all been in here cleaned in this solution with the PhotoFlow. And I put them on my turntable earlier this morning, and I was very pleased as to how well they sounded. I mean, they're open, no dullness in them, there's no darkness to them, they didn't close in the sound, it really opened it up. It made it more vibrant, more airy. That's kind of the way I would characterize it. So I'm not going to sit here and bore you with the details of how long this is going to take. It's up to 22 degrees, so it's going to be probably close to 45 minutes or so before these things are ready to come out. Right now there's just heating and the ultrasonic system is not turned on. It's just pre-soaking, and the degritter manual actually suggests that while the machine is heating up, you can just put the alum in and let it kind of as a pre-soak type of thing. I thought that was a good idea. You know, let this vinyl get wet, let the liquid get into all these grooves, and then we'll blast it with the ultrasonic system. All right, we'll be back. All right, so the ultrasonic cleaning is just about done. 2 seconds to go. The machine will automatically stop, reset back to 25 minutes, and the ultrasonic system has quit working, but the records still continue to spin. So I'm going to have to get them out of there and get them into their drying rack. Be right back. Okay, so here they are. They're all 4 in their drying rack. The nice thing about the Kodak photo flow, aside from being a wetting agent, which really reduces or eliminates the surface tension in the water and allows the water and the ultrasonic action to get into the grooves to do its job, you know, the nice thing about it also is that it allows you to air dry the records like this, and they come out nice and shiny without any streaks or without any water spots. So I just put them in here. They're still wet. I think, you know, the vinyl is going to look quite nice and quite shiny on here once it's all done. And then right now I have the 1 micron filter in the tub filtering the water. Got it clean again, and I have to make a decision whether I just want to really just empty this and replace the water with brand new water before I start with the Sinatra records. That'll be determined. All right. Okay, so there you have it. 4 vinyl records done in the ultrasonic machine. I've looked them over. They're pretty much all dry now. I don't know if you can see this or not, but they've all come out very, very shiny. No water spots, no streaks. Very, very good. I'm going to put this on the turntable in a little bit just to see how they sound, but I'm sure they'll be fine. So, tell me, do you own one of these types of ultrasonic systems? If so, what do you think of it? Do you think it's good, bad, ugly? For me personally, I believe that it's capable. It's certainly not the best system in the world, but then again, for $179, and I think $50 for the micron filter, additionally $50 for that, works good, works really good. Plus, it's diverse. You can use it for a lot of other things besides just cleaning records, and I know my wife is very thrilled about that because she has all kinds of jewelry and stuff, you know, that she's just dying to throw in here. So I don't believe that I'll keep this water to clean this box set. I'm going to change it, but before I do, because it's been used multiple times, I'm going to give her the opportunity to do whatever it is that she wants to do with it, and then we'll go from there. So if you've made it this far in the video, you owe it to yourself to hit that subscribe button. Give us a like. We'd love to have you on as a subscriber. More content to come. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.